I left my rival at the bottom of 200 meters of water, but the moment I surfaced, my wife collapsed in tears, holding his body. She will never know that I had already seen through every lie, every betrayal. On the second night after our wedding, my father told me Emily had gone missing in the lake. His face was grim. Survival chances were less than 1%. He told me to prepare for the worst. I didn't believe him. I forced down the panic, grabbed my gear, and drove through the night to the site. From that day on, I lost myself in the water. 50 meters, 100, 200, eventually 700 meters. For 2 years, the lake was freezing merciless. Every dive felt like being dragged into a grave. The pressure crushed my lungs, my ribs, my mind, but I never stopped. I just wanted to bring her back. Even if all that remained was a body, I almost died down there more times than I could count. My body gave out long before my will did. Still, I found nothing. It was as if she had vanished from the world, until the day I couldn't go on anymore. I dragged myself home, barely standing, and the moment I opened the door, everything shattered. Emily was sitting on the couch, laughing with my father and Daniel. Her face was flushed, alive, untouched by death, like she had never disappeared at all. She didn't die, that she faked it. Just to teach me a lesson, because at our wedding, I humiliated Daniel in front of everyone. My father, my wife, they staged it together. They trapped me in that water for 2 years, watched me break piece by piece. In that moment, I almost wished she had really died. At least then, I wouldn't feel like a complete joke. Emily ran to me, eyes red, arms shaking. She held me tight, said she missed me. Her tears were real. Her trembling was real. But whatever I felt for her had already drowned. I didn't push her away. I didn't hold her back. I just stood there, empty. At dinner, my father made everyone wait for Daniel before eating. I picked up my fork anyway. Then I asked him, in front of everyone, who his real son was. He paused, then told me not to make a scene. That was enough. Daniel suddenly dropped to his knees, crying, saying I had people beat him up. He painted himself as the victim, shifted everything onto me. My father exploded, said I'd end up in prison if I kept this up. Emily stood with him. She told me to apologize. I looked at the three of them and smiled. Then I lowered my head and said, I'm sorry. That was the moment I changed. I stopped explaining, stopped fighting, stopped expecting anything from anyone. I started treating Daniel like a brother, smiling, agreeing, playing along. They thought I had given up. Then I asked Emily for a child. She hesitated, but she said yes. 2 months later, she was pregnant, and I was ready. A rescue call came in. Code name, Devil's Eye. An underwater cave collapse. 3 people trapped at 200 meters. Oxygen running out. My father led the team. Daniel went with them. And then he broke protocol, detached from the guideline, got lost in the maze. Everything fell apart. Emily lost control on the spot. She said the baby didn't matter. Daniel had to live. That was the moment I understood. I had never been the one she chose. I stopped her from going, took the oxygen tank. I'll find him. She looked at me for the first time with hope. At 200 meters, the pressure is lethal. To me, it was routine. I found him quickly, trapped in a narrow air pocket, face pale, breathing hard. When he saw me, he reached out like I was salvation. I didn't move. I just asked him one question. What are you and Emily? He denied everything until the oxygen started running out. Then he broke they had been together. They had a child once. They got rid of it. The fake death, this idea, everything else is manipulation. I listened and felt nothing, like it was someone else's story. I put my mask back on, turned to leave. He screamed behind me, begged, promised anything. I stopped at the exit, watched him panic, watched him lose control. His voice warped in the water, then disappeared. He sank, his eyes changed from hope to despair. When he finally stopped moving, I swam back, dragged his body out. When I surfaced, no one spoke. Emily collapsed, clutching him, screaming like her world had ended. I stood there, like a stranger. No one knew I could have saved him. I just chose not to. After that, Emily quit her job. She became quiet, hollow, when the baby was born. She named him Ethan. My son, named after her dead lover. That was the last thing inside me that broke. The system told me my mission was complete. As long as she bore my child, I was free to leave this world. At the beginning, I would have stayed for her. But she destroyed everything, pushed me into the abyss, sealed the exit herself. So I left completely. She collapsed on the floor, holding the child, screaming my name. Only then did she finally understand how I had survived those 2 years. But it was too late. Back in my original world, I had everything. Except her. The system asked me one last question. She wanted to follow me. Did I want to see her again? I didn't hesitate. No. This time, I'm not looking back.